welcome to JabberJaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Chuck Norris and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Hiya.
Chuck. Hi.
Hi-
Hiya. Oh wow. Hiya.
Hiya.
I have a shirt that I bought at Walmart 15 years ago. This is
Still
what
works.
does it
Chuck
Uh,
Norris,
favorite cut of meat.
favorite Chuck, cut of meat is the
Roundhouse.
say? Yeah.
Oh,
That's
forget-
amazing.
Yeah, for a
I
minute.
wonder
I don't
if
think
they,
I've
I wonder
ever
if they
seen that
turned
shirt.
every one of those jokes into a distinct T-shirt.
Well,
Like if you could collect them all, I kind of like that. That seems like a mission that I could get behind. Like tracking down T-shirts from Walmart from 15 years ago.
well, to be honest with you, I used to do this thing called, I would buy aspirational clothes, so if I lost enough weight, it would give me an excuse to whatever. And this is probably the worst out of all my aspirational T-shirts that I bought, but I like it. It's fine, that's okay. That's a Chuck Norris joke. Those were pretty popular in 2012. So anyway, it was 2010 maybe. I don't know.
Takes me back. It takes me back. A simpler time. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Jesus Christ, I'm trying to get something going here. Somebody say it. No, I don't.
I love how Tyson in our show prep was like, I'm so tired. And he's the one with the most energy right now.
He is
So
very, we
look
rely
how
on
that's
him.
changed.
We feed upon his youthfulness. And we draw from that energy. And
we do.
It's showtime. That's, that's where it comes from.
That's, just hearing that intro just gives you a whole new meaning of life. Life is good. Getting prepared to go to Italy for the first time. So there's a lot to do and a lot to tie up before going on vacation.
What part of Italy are you going to again?
We are flying into Florence from Munich. So we go from Denver to Munich to Florence. We stay in Florence for a few days and then we bounce around from there. So like
Very
Rome,
cool.
Venice, Tuscany, Cinque Terre.
Ooh,
We're actually going to stay in the Cinque Terre for a couple of days and then head back to Florence, fly out back to Denver.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You will be very seasoned
quick trip
by the time you get home.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope I have a beard that I can show off on the next show.
Is this
pretty
the
awesome.
first time you've been to Europe? Is that right?
This is the first time. Yes. So any pointers, fellas?
Don't wear a baseball cap. That's the only pointer I have.
Why is that?
Well, because people know that if you're wearing a baseball cap, then you're not from Europe. Because baseball is not a thing that happens in Europe.
Uh-huh.
So it's almost asking somebody to pick your pocket. So also, I read another thing that said that like big tennis shoes with the laces and all that stuff, like Air Jordans or whatever, like only American. Like any shoe that has laces on it probably is a sign that you're not from Europe, because lace shoes are not a thing. I'm just telling you what I read 3 years ago.
They're like all Velcro? Is that the whole of Europe is just Velcro shoes?
I think it's just, I mean, these are my slip-ons right now.
Okay.
So they're just slip-ons. I get them from the Skechers. But anyway,
I should have consulted you a few months ago when I was getting stuff ordered for this trip.
I think it's fun for you to be buggered by Europeans being like, "Oh, it's America, so beautiful." Whatever. I have no idea.
The only advice that I can relay is the same advice that my father gave to me in 1994 before I went to Europe for the first time. Let me try to remember the highlights. Get all your money converted to American Express traveler's checks is your first step. Get to traveler's checks.
That seems a little outdated, but I'll do that. Okay.
Alex said 94, 29 years, few things change. Second one, you're going to want to get a money clip. This is the first time I got a money clip in my life because it was encouraged that you wear. This is not applicable. Well, I shouldn't genderdize, but typically speaking, would not apply to you is you would not put your wallet in your front pocket so as to not be pickpocketed. Because apparently
Oh
everybody fucking
no.
saw Oliver, and I think that's honestly where it came from. I really do. Where that's like everyone they saw Oliver, and you do have to pick a pocket or two. And so that what else? That was pretty much it. Just traveler's checks, money clip. They actually had some pretty like involved ones, which were like undergarments that you could like hide your money. Like American travelers were
Wow.
paranoid back in the
Yeah.
mid '90s. So
Yeah.
it was.
I was gonna say, in order to get your money clipped, did you have to do a deep dive into your pants to like pay for things? What? I have a very strange mental image right now.
No, just like your side pocket and like your
Oh, okay,
jeans.
okay,
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah.
they're Jinkos probably in '94, so it would have been you were right the first time.
Ugh,
But
I miss my Jinkos.
yeah, but no, that's
R.I.P.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's the whole international going through customs is a fun kind of experiment.
No
Yeah.
joke. No, I mean, I think everyone knows this, but no jokes at all.
No,
Well, I've
no.
been to
TSA,
Jamaica, so I've done the customs. Like, tried to do a joke, and they just weren't having it. They're
Yeah.
very
no.
serious.
Take like a TSA agent and just pretend that they got divorced the night before. And
Yeah, exactly. That's
that
perfect.
is customs. Like that's what you just
Customs in a
assume.
nutshell. Yeah, that's
Just
true.
assume. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to all that,
The
but getting there
trains
once we're there.
and the
Yeah.
trains are awesome. Like that is like one of the things
I
that just
can't
blew
wait.
me away about Europe
Yeah.
is just how easy it is to get around because they have less people, but they have less area too. But they thought about it and it's well planned. And yeah, the trains are amazing, especially in Italy. I don't know. Are you going to like northern Italy or like?
No, not a ton. I
Okay.
mean, I think this trip it's going to be more like southern, but I have
Okay.
heard, yeah, like
because the only time I've been to Italy was when I was like south of France, I think, and that actually tips down into the northern Italy. So that's gonna be awesome. You're gonna eat some spaghetti.
Yeah, you're gonna have
spaghetti.
I'm gonna order spaghetti and meatballs at every restaurant, like an asshole.
We shouldn't eat at McDonald's, right? No, but I mean, we know
Well,
what they're gonna get, right? So I don't know.
I've heard actually from, and okay, this is gonna be embarrassing. I don't know who dated Leah. What is Leah's name? I'm still friends with her on Facebook. Oh my god, I'm brain farting. Anyway, one of your ex-girlfriends.
Leah
No.
Dove.
Yeah.
Technically, both of our ex-girlfriends, but go ahead. That's the story for another day. But that's fine.
Story for another
Sorry, I
day.
forgot your last name, Leah. Love you. Okay. Anyway,
Well, she's not listening to this. I could.
Yeah. Well, that's actually probably true based on her socials. Anyway, her and her husband went to Italy a couple months ago, and they went to the McDonald's there, and she said it's a must. So, in Florence, I should.
I did see
Yeah.
pictures of little McDonald's makes apparently in Italy. I'm not sure across the board in Italy, but they make little calzones that you can buy like
Really?
like little calzones, maybe like 3 inches long that you can buy. So I mean that might be interesting. I don't know.
I mean, I'm planning on doing a little mini JabberJaw investigates, and I'll keep you guys posted via the text.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. I actually caught a lot of shit because when I was in London, I used to eat McDonald's all the time but it was cheap. Like it was cheap, and like the British cannot give you shit about eating McDonald's. The Italians can, but the British cannot give you shit about eating McDonald's. So, but it was just like home. Got a little slice of home.
That's
and it was,
sweet. I like that.
I'm sure that's nice, actually. Yeah. Any Portland storm,
great.
right?
Yeah, it was great. Like I ate that and like Chinese food, like every other that's rotated because it was just like that or like meat pies, and which no, I'm not even.
I do like a meat pie.
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
Those are pretty good.
I'm sure there are good meat
Tyson,
pies
what's
out
your
there.
beef with the meat pie?
Ayo.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean, a meat pie. I mean, not the, sorry. It's just, it's like any kind of savory. Well, like we're going to have Vietnamese pancakes tonight. That's what Beth's making. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
It's got some nam choc. It's got some shrimp in there, whatever. But basically, they're crepes, with, they're, Asian crepes. Anyway, but the thing is, it's like when I hear meat pie, I'm like, but a pie is supposed to be sweet, right? I mean, I don't even like pie, right? But I
Yeah.
do like the idea of encasing everything
Those are
you eat.
fighting words in this household. Anyway.
I do appreciate the fact that they tried to cover everything in bread. So I like that. I mean,
Uh-huh.
What
that's
about
cool.
pot pies though? Are you
I am not a pot pie guy.
you're
No,
not a pot pie person?
no.
Tasty
Really?
pot pies?
So you just
Well,
don't like pies in general?
Oh,
well, but here's the deal. Like, no, I guess not. I mean, the thing with pot pies is that they usually try to put gravy on them, and I don't like gravy, so that's a weird
Oh,
thing.
it is kind of
which
a
is so
the
strange to me.
innards are kind of a gravyish substance,
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah,
if you have an aversion to gravy, that's probably not going to fly.
Yeah, not so
I
much.
big fan of pot pies. Those
I mean,
the
Me
big
too.
Marie Calendar ones sometimes. Oh, they got like
Oh, it's so nice.
37,000 calories somehow
but isn't that?
crammed
I
into a
mean,
little pie.
is that how?
Delicious.
Isn't that how like Boston Market got their foothold in America's psyche? By adding those meat
Oh,
pies to the
maybe.
thing.
Yeah.
Like that's. I
Could have
mean, that's
been.
the only thing I can figure. I mean, I realize that some, the immigrants that came over here, some meat pies are part of their natural, like, sort of like
Heritage.
experience. Yeah, heritage. Shared experience. Whatever. But yeah, I'm not doing that. Meanwhile, I'm gonna have a fucking Vietnamese pancake. So what the fuck do I know? But
You might do it.
I
Me,
might,
if
like, I hate to use the term any port in a storm, but if because I've already used it once already, but like
it's a good
if
one.
if you're if you're
If you're 80 years old.
if you're those storms are getting more dangerous. No, the but I I'll just anything that's like somewhat realistic. A meat pie to me is a casserole baked into a pie, and I don't like casserole. So like to me that it kind of just goes
I
Well,
away.
understand that, but I also like casseroles,
yeah.
so
And the
I'm
British
still
meat pie
confused.
often, like there is like the bigger one, but quite often they're more of like a handheld. As we've seen, like every kind of country has their sort of handheld food. Like the Italians have the calzone, the British have their meat pie,
Yeah.
the
Right. I mean,
vulgar
I
Germans
mean,
have the Bierock.
if Stanley Tucci
America
was
has the
like,
hot pocket.
if
I
I
don't.
there you go, yeah. Oh my
That
goodness.
is true. Yeah, that's
No.
our meat pie.
I remember one time Matt came to my house and I bought some fucking because he loves them. I'm sure he still buys them and eats them all the time. Right? Hot pockets?
On the spot.
Yeah.
I did, you know, damn it, Tyson. It had been a long time. It had been a long time. And I went to grocery shop in person a few days ago, and I saw the Philly cheesesteak when they were
Ooh.
2 packs for
Hot
$5. So I was
pocket.
like, I'm gonna, and I that's what I had for lunch today.
So
So go ahead.
Matt was staying at my house in Lawrence, at the townhouse where I lived before I was married, and I bought some bought some of those. The pepperoni, either the ham and cheese and the pepperoni and cheese, but I wouldn't make them in the microwave. I put them in the oven. They take like 35 minutes to do in the oven, and Matt could not have
Way
been
better though.
more. Yeah, I know, but Matt could not have been more pissed because we had probably been through a party box of fucking Bush Light at that point, and he's like, "I need," and I'm like, "Come on, it's better," and he's like, "No, no," he's like, "Just pull it out of there. I'll put it in the microwave." I'm like, "No, you're not. No." So I'm just saying.
Did they not have those like microwavable sleeves that you
Yeah, no,
stick a hot
they
pocket
do.
in to like
Yeah,
crisp it up? Okay.
yeah, but I mean, I put the, and I'm sure this was wrong. I put them in the sleeves in the oven.
Yeah, I don't
The
know about that,
Yeah,
Tice.
I don't know. Whatever.
This will make them extra crispy.
I did, but having said that, I won't eat a hot pocket unless it's made like it's been baked for 30 minutes in an oven, which is antithetical to the idea of hot pockets in general. It's supposed to be
That
a
it is.
microwave, 2 minute jobber, shove it in your face, and then it's time to keep watching
Well, I'm
fucking
not sure Tyson
Degrassi
realizes
High or
this, but
whatever.
that moment, that moment changed my life because I did have that hot pocket that took half an hour, and it was
You
goddamn delicious. And
you
so
did.
to this day,
I do remember. Yeah.
I put those in because the Philly cheesesteak requires 27 minutes as opposed to traditional 30. And yes, it makes it. I can't explain it, but it is disproportionate to the effort. But I mean, it's delicious. It is delicious.
It's just way better. Yeah. So
There's actually like I was thinking about this because I had the hot pocket today, and it brought up a lot of memories. But there was a there was a show like on Showtime called like it had Oh, this is a terrible story. Anyway, we're not going to tell it because I'm bailing on it right there. But anyway, there was a
Oh, dang
character in
it.
this show. It was like how does something in Southern Florida or Central Florida had the girl from the Virgin Bride, the Virgin Suicides. Man,
Oh,
anyway,
Kirsten Dunst?
Kristen Dunst. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
TV show she did a couple of years ago, and there was a scene in there where this guy he just challenges himself to bite right into the hot pocket, like as steamy, and he does it as like sort of a
Wow.
kind of a compulsive. Anyway, but
That'll burn your fucking mouth out. I'm sorry.
it will. It will. Oh, absolutely. You gotta wait.
Yeah.
You gotta
The
wait.
inside
And
of
you
your
gotta.
mouth will be swollen.
It's a
for
game. It's a game.
days.
I figure that because you got
It's like pizza rolls,
but
right?
you
Like,
want to eat it, but but it's a combination
Yeah.
of like kind of squeezing it because you don't want to lose the insides, but you don't want to squeeze too much out and scald yourselves. It's
There's
more
a
of an
process.
activity,
Yeah.
than a lunch if you think about it.
That's all.
Hot pocket.
Honestly, like if they could adapt that sort of marketing campaign, hot pockets. It's more an activity than a food. They might be able to get some of these
They might.
people that run marathons and shit. They'd be like, probably not, but let's go with it.
They might.
God, he was mad. I remember that night. He was so mad at me. Anyway,
hungry.
okay.
Oh,
He was hungry.
I can imagine it. Yeah.
They were right there.
Well, here's the problem. I busted out the hot pockets out of the freezer, and he's like, "Yes," and then I made him in the oven. He was like, "No."
Yes.
What are you doing?
I had the same response that any 4-year-old child would, Tyson. I may have thrown a tantrum. I don't remember the whole. All I know is to this day, I use the oven. So this is interesting that I've evolved.
That's true. Wow.
You've come so far.
It's like if you're gonna eat something that is inherently terrible, you might as well put it in the oven and make it as inherently nice as it could possibly be. I don't know. I'm tired.
I think you're more proud of it after half an hour. I think you're just more proud. Like it's just not that sad, right? It's like making your own KFC sadness bowl at home.
Yeah, it kind of feels like you cooked as opposed to took the easy way out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
we finished that level.
I collect those sleeves, by the way.
So we finished that level of Mario Brothers World or whatever, and then we ate our hot pockets, and then.
It was a glorious. It was like spring break, but I think we both. I don't know.
Well, we were both snowed in because we couldn't go to the office at the state capitol because the snow. They did like 14 inches of snow, so we had 2 days.
Shit, you got a snow day. All right.
Yeah, we got 2 snow days.
Couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, and so
we beat all of Super Mario World Galaxy.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
We did.
Yeah, it was
well
fun.
done.
It
sounds like it. Sounds fun.
It's one of the more memorable weekends of my life.
Yeah, I mean, we did kill a cube of beer each day, but still though we weren't working.
Right.
We weren't working. Right.
Just to let everyone know.
Right. We're having an adventure with Mario. I don't think it was Busch Light. Do we have to say it was Busch Light? Can't we?
What kind of beer was it? Was it Keystone?
It was probably one of the silver canned options. I would say either Silver Bullet or maybe it could have been Natty Light because
it might have been Natty Light. Yeah.
I will say that like that third day we had beaten the game, and so we watched. There's a show that you can find on syndication all the time, like every day at any time of the day, called Cheaters. They only did 1 season of Cheaters. Just FYI, they only did 1 season of Cheaters. But we watched it from like 9 until like 6 that night. We watched like 15 or 16 episodes of Cheaters. And we were
real?
Like, oh, for real. It was a lot of fun. I mean,
best guess was the only reason it lasted a season is because I'm guessing someone got shot at the end. Like every episode was like just a terrible idea.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if you're in a foxhole or if there's a nuclear holocaust or whatever, there's a lot.
Or you've just got basic cable.
Yeah, there's a lot worse. There's a lot worse things than being stuck in a room with Matt and watching Cheaters.
That's sweet.
It was nice.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was fun.
Good male bonding moment. I like it.
Well, that's the thing, like I think, and you talked about that. You have some of your friends. You guys just can't sit around and watch TV, but Matt and I definitely can just sit around and watch
Yeah.
TV and make a
Well, I
thing out
feel
of
like
it.
that's a guy thing too. I feel like women in general, and correct me if I'm wrong, women that listen to this, we want to go out and do stuff. Guys are like, we could just sit around here and drink beer and watch something or play video games. It's like, ugh, no.
That's true. Why, why go get chlamydia at the bar when you could just stay here and
Stay STD free, huh?
that's
It
that's
works.
right. Plus the snow. I don't know. Anyway,
Sounds like a new
Oh my God.
Christian movement. Like, don't leave your room. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a promise ring to watch all the episodes of Degrassi before you
it
fuck
is.
anyone. So
Well, I've earned my virginity back about 300 times then.
Oh my God. On
anyway,
that note,
I just talked to my father. My dad had back surgery today. Rick Dinas, patron of the show, obviously.
Rick,
Anyway, he
he's
just
our
called.
PR director.
He did. He did say he's like, well, keep that F word counter going. I'll be happy to listen to it on the way back.
Ah,
So
fuck yeah, Rick.
Yeah,
fuck
Fuck
it,
yeah.
Dad.
absolutely. Fuck yeah, Rick.
Anyway, yeah, it was really nice you guys checking up on me today. That was very sweet. So anyway, and I told
Well,
Dad.
we love you and your
Yeah,
dad.
now
I
hope he
know.
has a
Glad things went well, Rick.
speedy recovery. I know
Oh yeah,
back
no,
surgery is no fun.
it's all
So yeah,
nightmare for Mom now moving forward. So
You'll be doing flips again in
well,
no time, sir.
take advantage of it from the show. Take advantage of it. That's what we're
Dad,
Yes.
we're buying another trampoline. It's your turn now. It's your time.
Yes. All right. Shall we do some headlines?
Yeah, we're on.
You guys ready?
We shall.
We're
Yeah,
on a
we're
tight
we're
schedule
on a
because
tight
of my
schedule.
ass. Yeah. Here we go.
of the week. Pretty good.
Not bad, right? Working on it.
Not your best, but what is it?
Wow, Tice.
Certainly not.
I
Sorry.
feel like when I scream, it cuts out. So I'm trying to
Well, what's
Oh.
weird
do
is
different things.
that cut out too. So it's
Did
weird.
it?
Like, yeah, I don't know if
Did
it's
you change
shit.
microphones at some point? So,
No.
is there a switch?
You know what though? I may not have. Okay, I know what happened.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
yeah. I forgot to connect my USB.
if you can't redline that headlines of the week, then we're not delivering to the people. That's all I'm saying.
Oh shit! All right.
So you
well,
forgot to connect your
noted.
USB, so you're not even using that
No, but I
microphone?
think I did. Please hold. No, I'm using my AirPods.
Oh, you're using here?
Okay.
That's
okay.
what's happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Okay. All right.
I had to explain AirPods to my mother. My sister and I tried really hard while we were waiting through the surgery to explain AirPods to Mom, and I
Hold
don't
on,
think it
just
took.
I'm gonna
But anyway,
go check
Mom,
out. There's a
you should
strange
get
beeping
them.
sound that I will be right back.
There is a beeping.
I know. I'm gonna
The
go find out what
beeping?
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man,
Stay tuned.
we're getting into the technical stuff. So that's actually something that was brought up by a couple of fans of the show. They were like, "Have you noticed that there's beeping in the background?" And I'm like, "It's coming from Tyson or Smith. My money's on Smith."
Well, man, the man has a lot of alerts in his life,
He
like-
has a lot of alerts. There's a lot of robots working for that guy right now. So yeah.
Drake just stepped out of Canada. Beep 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 beep. beep. He can't defend himself. That's so rude. Anyway,
I know. It's
I
not
know.
fair.
Okay. Well, I don't have many headlines this week, but it's been a weird week.
I don't really either.
I
We're really going to be leaning
there
on
two
Smith.
two big things happened this week, or today. So we'll get into it. But these are my headlines before today. Billionaire Harlan Crow bought property from Clarence Thomas. The justice didn't disclose the deal. So this guy who has no, he has no. Apparently, he has no courts against. No, he has no cases coming up with this.
Oh.
But obviously, he wants people to not be able to reproduce, or not. No, sorry, not be able to not reproduce and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, he bought his. I don't know. The bitch of this whole thing is, and I've been following this pretty closely because Clarence Thomas is a fucking shady dude. He's shady. He's been, I mean, the pube on the Coke can. Do you guys remember any of that stuff? Anyway,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
anybody.
Ugh.
It's so weird that no one's remembering this. Anyway, he's a terrible person.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. This is my second headline. I thought this is from CNN. $200,000 in dimes stolen from truck in Northeast Philadelphia. Did you guys see
Ooh.
this? I
I did see
No.
it, but I was
because
hoping somebody else had that one because I didn't read the full article.
So the article is, I'll just read a little bit of it. Police are on the hunt for people who behind a quote diamond dash, good one, theft in
It's good.
Northeast Philadelphia at around 6 a.m. Thursday. Thieves broke into an unmarked trailer left in a Walmart parking lot. The Philadelphia Police Department told CNN and made off with about 2 million dimes.
Whoa.
Yeah, so the trailer was carrying an estimated $750,000 in dimes, and the thieves were able to steal approximately 200,000. Problem is, there was a hole in the bag, so there's a trail of fucking dimes out of the parking lot. I assume they got it stopped. They got the bleed stopped before
This
they.
is a Disney movie, isn't it? Like this
Right? I
didn't
mean,
really
like,
happen.
I
Kind of
mean,
feels that
imagine
way.
like it's like you'd have to get a. I mean, if we're gonna treat this like a Hollywood movie pitch, you'd have to get a bunch of bad news bears baseball players to go to the Coin Star at every place that you've ever been to, and just. But I mean, what are you gonna do with $200,000 in dimes? I mean, are you gonna slowly spend that out? Be like, I mean, as soon as you pay for a pizza with fucking 60 dimes, they're going to be like, well, it'd be more than that. It'd be like 150 dimes. Somebody's going to be like, seems a little weird. Now, not saying that I have not paid for food and change, especially at fast food places when I was close to the ground. But I'm just saying that it seems like, I don't know
A
what you're
two for
going to.
$2. They don't care where that $2 comes from. Like
That's right.
you can
But
make
if
it up
you,
in
No.
any denomination of your choosing.
that's right. But if you, let's just say you roll into like, I don't know, a 4-star reference restaurant and you pay with literally a bag with a money sign written on it and be like, this should cover it. Like somebody's gonna get.
I want to do that actually.
Well, we can all hope to be Chris Martin someday. But that was just.
You should make a
I still
purse
want to
that
get that
looks like a
tattoo.
money bag. I'm telling you, a purse that looks like a money bag. Charge. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm for it. This is from Rolling Stone. I'm not going to read any. I read this whole article. It's not nearly as cool as the headline.
Headline.
This is from Rolling Stone. A grand unified theory of why Elon Musk is so unfunny. You can find that online.
Lovely.
Yeah, and then so a couple things happened today. So Fox News reaches a $787 million settlement in the Dominion defamation suit. Right. So that was supposed to start today, right? And
That's
then
correct. Yeah.
from what I've read, and I was at the hospital the whole time when I was getting these updates. Basically, what happened was um, the jury was brought in. They were supposed to do opening arguments, uh, and then nothing happened for like 2 hours. And then finally, the judge came in and he goes, "It's been settled." And so they settled for basically half of 1.6. That's what they were asking for.
Yeah.
And they got $787.5 million. So they wouldn't have to put any of their people on the stand because they were all going to go on the stand. And also Rupert Murdoch, who they were like, oh well, he's too old.
They
He
were
can't.
freaking out about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Dominion won. But what sucks is that like it could have been amazing to hear some of these people like you know under oath be like, like Sean Hannity be like, no, I know my text said that Trump is an idiot, uh, but um, I guess he is, like,
Right. Right.
Right.
because if
Right.
I don't say that, then you're gonna win, like, so they just decided to pay through the nose for it, and I could not be happier about it. I mean, I would have been happier to get all this testimony, but that's probably not gonna happen. And then the last thing, sorry, does anybody have any thoughts about that before I move on?
I just thought it was. I mean, I sent you guys a screenshot right before we started the podcast. I don't know if you had a chance to
Smith's new
look at it,
wallpaper.
but
Yeah.
I pulled up basically every news site that I could think of shortly after the announcement, and then like Fox News is like the 15th window, and it's like deranged Chicago couple fears something like it's incredible to me. I mean, like, and Tyson, you
Yep.
started this thing meanwhile on Fox, which you've done forever, and just like it's just sort of like when shit's really hitting the fan, Fox just leaves the room, and
They do.
That's true.
They're like,
Yep.
baseball hats, are they still as important as they used to be in the 50s?
yeah, right. They're
and every,
scrambling, like they're like throw it up, whatever, just throw it up there, and it's
everybody else is like, Obama, killed Osama bin Laden, and they're like,
yeah.
and then Fox News is like, yeah, it's weird that shoes don't fit the same way they used to,
Yeah, what's real? I mean,
It's
what is
accurate.
really kind of tragic, I think, is that although that's $787 million, that's gonna, how companies love to pay out money, so it's not gonna, and I like. There's no repercussions for them as an organization, and I don't like it's.
Well, okay, so even my dad, who's like just got out of surgery, I just talked to him right before we started the call. I told him about that. He goes, "Really? What about their apology that they're supposed to make?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that was part of the deal, but they're paying a lot of money to not make an
Yeah.
official apology."
So here was
Yeah.
I wanted to mention one thing. So I just wanted to mention Fox News statement said it acknowledged the court's rulings finding certain claims about the Dominion to be false. Follow up statement: this settlement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standards. The network said. We are hopeful that our decision to resolve this dispute with Dominion amicably instead of acrimony or divisive trial allows the country to move forward from these issues.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All those issues you guys created over fucking
Exactly.
Yeah, and
hundreds of
the fun, I
hours
mean,
of
and
bullshit.
this is why just everything's just going
Awful.
but it didn't affect Fox's viewership at all. I mean,
No.
I didn't expect it to,
Me
but
neither.
it didn't. It's like it's just the anyway. Yeah. So yeah, good for Dominion.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
And I mean, it's a huge thing too. Is that I mean, this has to be the biggest defamation suit in history.
As far as I
That's what
know.
I was wondering. Is it?
It
Yeah.
has. I mean, I can't imagine because defamation is classically been an incredibly difficult thing to prove. So to
Right.
to reach a settlement, it's
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like if Fox had taken the lawyer and been like, "Oh, it's satire," which is what all people do in these situations.
Yeah, they do.
Then
Yeah.
they would have had to absolutely contend with the fact that Fox News is satire. So like, I mean, they could have got out of it, but they wouldn't have lost any viewership. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But that's how everybody else gets out of these things, right? And so
yeah, right.
I did tell my dad. So my dad, he has to. So he just had back surgery. He's laying on his back. He's not allowed to move, but he can lay on his side. And I said, Dad, and they haven't got in a room because hospitals are full, right? So I said, Dad, have them turn you over so you can turn your side so you can watch TV. And I said, Dad, because you are of a certain age, make sure you point out that you don't want to watch Fox News. And he laughed. That's all I
That's
wanted.
pretty good.
Yeah. And the last thing I don't even want to talk about. Some poor young man got shot in the head and the body because he went to the wrong house in Kansas City. And it's weird because it was kind of a non-story, but it's blown up, across the inner tubes and all that stuff. And so yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. The other weird thing that happened today, and I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna get into it, but for all people, if you haven't seen this yet, this broke today. Um, there's video of a man who is raging at Bush Light in a Topeka Walmart, and he's throwing Bush Light around and hitting people with it. And I mean, it made a huge thing. And before he got arrested, apparently he exposed his genitals, which of course, I get it. I get, right? If you're all in, why not? Anyway, it's on Forbes.com. That's the biggest news
very
source
good.
that I could find about it. But at Forbes.com, you can see the viral video of this man. Some people think that he was reacting to the Budweiser thing
I
because
wondered if that was it, and then he just got the beer wrong, which kind of makes sense. Like
But-
that
Yeah.
fits.
But I'm just thinking about Topeka in general and thinking that maybe he just had an argument with Bush Light in his head and he lost the argument and then he started throwing them around. That's so I don't know, but that's. But anyway, the story is hot off the presses. It's too new to talk about. So we'll talk about it next week.
Too new to talk about.
It's too hot. What if we get this angle wrong? What if I don't know that Bush Light killed his father? I have no idea. So anyway, it's fine. And those are my headlines. The week.
The week.
Yeah.
Smith?
Just a few. I'm going to kind of go through these kind of randomly. Al Jaffe,
he died.
Mad Magazine cartoonist, dies at 102 years old. So,
Wow.
I think every one of our kind of generation is pretty familiar with Mad Magazine, even though it certainly wasn't in its heyday when we were kind of younger.
Yeah.
I think that was more kind of in the 60s and 70s. But he was kind of the main cartoonist, I think, for the magazine. Said, he was 102 when he died in a Manhattan hospital on Monday due to multi-system organ failure. It's called being 102 years old. As a prolific artist, Jaffe holds the Guinness record for the longest career as a comic artist, beginning his first publication in Joker Comics in 1942.
Yeah.
Right at the start of World War II. And it says Mad Magazine will vanish from newsstands after 67 years. So I guess they are going to discontinue the magazine.
Well, they're gonna keep doing it because it's owned by Warner Brothers, and so it's part of the DC Comics stable. So they still do whatever.
Okay.
He's the guy who created the fold-in thing on the back page.
Yeah, the fold-in, and then he also had it. There was a book. I remember it was like Al Jaffe's snappy answers to stupid questions.
Yeah, I had that.
I had that book, which was fun. So R.I.P. Al Jaffe. That's a hell of a career.
Yeah, it is.
Some quick ones. Netflix gains 107.5 million subscribers. Axe's DVD rental business. So just kind of a little note, but Netflix is finally, and I guess I was more surprised to realize you could still get DVDs from Netflix, but apparently you could. Not any longer. So they are going to get rid of that in June. I think I signed up for Netflix in about 2003. If it wasn't 2003, it was 2004. And it's funny how much that's changed, but like that was such a game changer, and just I don't know.
It was 2003. It was 2003 because we were living together and you were getting them. So I remember. Yeah.
So it was pretty.
You were reaping the benefits.
We would just fucking copy them and send them back.
We would. Yeah, it was a good system. So thank you, Netflix.
Smart. Yeah.
A year after the Wordle craze, Spotify is shutting down the online game Hurdle. So, Spotify, you motherfuckers. That's for you.
I looked.
Indeed.
Did you do any research? I was trying desperately to figure out how much they paid for it. It would have been close to I'm going to say $800,000 maybe. And then they axed it, which I mean, that's a drop in the bucket for Spotify. I get, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they fucking destroyed it. It sucked.
They did.
Get-go, since they've had it. They did a shit job with it. I'm kind of glad they're just putting it out of its misery, and I'm glad they lost some money on it.
You know what, though? I mean, I learned about so many songs by fucking, I lost their name. Terrible bands, by the way, like Juice WRLD.
Absolutely.
Juice WRLD. I think we were all introduced to Juice WRLD the other day.
Yeah.
And that was some god awful shit.
The worst.
I know, but anyway.
All of it, to the point where when they actually had a decent song, we were shocked. Like, this is how it's been going.
Right. It was like one, and because OG Hurdle back in the day, we would get it most of the time.
I would say
so.
I would say 60% of the time.
That's fair. We could go back to the archives if we wanted to, but we're going to say 63% and be good. But Spotify, once they took over, they just opened it up to they just tried to open it up to an incredibly wide audience of people who don't listen to music or appreciate it where you're willing to play the game Hurdle. I guess is my point. Like,
Right.
like it was
Right.
like it has its audience, and they didn't get that at all. And God, how it happened the other day, like where they'd have like your first clip was like blank. It's like
Right.
like literally an intern was like, "What are you going to put on spot? Hurdle today?" And it. So
Okay,
I don't know.
what was the band? It wasn't Foster the People, but what's the band that they always had? And they always had Coldplay, and they had Juice World
A
several
lot of
times.
Coldplay.
A lot of Coldplay.
What was that? It's that terrible band that we all hate. They were always on there.
Maroon 5?
No, but that's a
Imagine
good band.
Dragons?
Billie Eilish?
Imagine Dragons.
Oh, second guess.
Fuck you.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. I like Billie Eilish. Fuck you. Anyway.
Billie Eilish.
There you go, Rick. You got all your fucks from your
There
son
you go.
right
Woo.
there.
She's good. Her brother's an excellent songwriter. I don't know what to say.
Her. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, Imagine Dragons. Jesus, that was like every other week.
So so you guys don't know, but we play these games all the time, every day. So we try to figure out what songs are. So it's Wordle, it's Filmdle, and then just a bunch of different sound guessing songs that the three of us do every day, right?
Yeah.
And and so we can honestly say that Wordle went down fucking hill, like real bad.
Yeah, we've been dedicated to it for a while.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. At least a year, because we've been playing a lot longer.
Every fucking week somebody would be like, "I'm fucking quitting this game." Like one of us would say it.
Yeah,
like,
we would.
We're stuck with
it.
But there are. I'm happy to inform the public that there are a number of much better alternatives.
Yes.
Including what 80s Hurdle, 90s Hurdle, which I think we started playing, and now there's, much to my pleasure, although I've done a lot worse than I would have thought there's New Wave Hurdle.
I thought you would kill
you're
that.
still doing the best, Smith, out of the three of us.
They've got some obscure shit on there.
Yeah, they've got some real weird ones.
The one yesterday, I was like, I will buy you each a pizza if you get this. Like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, yesterday's was bizarro. Yeah.
Some of that New Wave shit is just like heavy breathing for 19 minutes. So
yeah, there's nothing worse than like for 17 seconds, and you don't have no idea whether it is.
No idea. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get through the rest of these as quickly as possible.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
No, it's good. Ron DeSantis threatens prison near Disney theme park and latest retaliation. So I couldn't remember if we talked about this or not. But the board, there was this whole thing earlier this year where DeSantis was going to make the legislature take over this governing board of Disney. Well, Disney then just sort of stripped all that board of its real power before that transfer of power actually took place.
Yeah.
And DeSantis looked like the dumbass that he is.
Yeah, Disney's smarter than DeSantis, so he's gonna build a goddamn prison.
Really, you're the number one state tourist attraction. You're gonna really, Ron? Are you gonna build a prison? Are you just gonna call it? Yeah, the Ron DeSantis House of Pain, which I would actually support that. That actually would be pretty.
I like that. That kind of works.
The Ron DeSantis House of Pain. So it looks like we're upon quite possibly another Hollywood writer strike.
Yeah.
That's right.
This was kind of an interesting article I saw in Forbes. I get a lot of Forbes today. We never go to Forbes, so good
that's
for them.
true. Yeah.
Basically, members of the Writing Guild voted on Monday to authorize a strike, but a negotiating committee does not reach a new deal with Hollywood studios before the contract expires on May 1. Overwhelming majority, 98% voted for the strike. So this article, again, was 5 critical lessons for the last Hollywood writer's strike. I thought I was pretty interested, but I kind of summarized his 5 points. What this is going to mean, basically. The first, more reality television.
Yep.
Reality television really became a big thing in 2007. Was 2007, I think, was the prior one?
It was, yeah, you're right, yeah.
More reality TV. More different kind of influence on the studio, because back in the day you didn't have Amazon, you didn't have Netflix, you've got all these new kind of media players. It's more consolidated, so it's a more consolidated sort of negotiating platform in some ways, so that's going to be interesting. This was pretty interesting. I always kind of thought that the first strike was about streaming royalties, but it actually wasn't. It was about DVD royalties.
It
'Cause
was,
in
yeah.
2007.
Was it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just and 'cause
I was
streaming.
I was the same way, Matt. I thought it was about streaming rights because that's what they kept saying, but it was
Right.
DVD.
But so here's the thing though, DVD rights were nothing compared to what streaming rights
Yeah.
probably should be. So this is probably long overdue. Fourth, late night becomes more relevant. Apparently, late night TV is sort of
Yeah.
the sort of like tunnel through Hollywood to the reality of which is kind of true. I kind of remember it being that way because they're just kind of joking around about the writer's strike, and it is kind of a fun thing to watch. And number 5, just a reminder that public pressure helps. And so as people get angry that their favorite TV shows, what's going to be interesting though is in 2007, this was probably still more of an episodic level impact, right? Like where they were probably on halfway through and they stopped, or they did like a mid-season
Right.
replacement.
Yeah.
It's going to be different now because I think usually when they're probably done by the time they're actually appearing on the planet, or they're done, or they release them in mass. So I don't know. It'll be a little bit different this time, I think.
Well, I just like my dream job is to be a writer for television. I know you guys know this, but maybe the listeners don't. Anyway, but like I've been reading. I follow all these writers, and they just can't afford. They're getting paid nothing, basically, and they don't get any back end points. It's so. I'm fine with them going on strike. There's enough content for me to watch. By the way, I can find something to watch.
That's true. Yeah, we will get through this.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, so good for them. You know what? They're gonna sign though. They're not. They lost $2.8 billion in the 100-day strike.
Holy shit!
In 2007. So they're not gonna.
Wow.
I would be surprised.
Good for them. They don't do this often, so they waited. It's been 15 years. So yeah, good on them. They're a good union. One of the good ones. Couple last ones. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem says her 1-year-old granddaughter already has a shotgun and a rifle.
Okay.
This was her speaking at the National Rifle Association's annual convention, which unfortunately was here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I did not brave downtown. Kathy did. She said it was as you would expect, so I figured I probably just shouldn't drive down there.
Baby's first shotgun.
So yeah, so this is a quote.
So sweet.
She said the conservative firebrand told a crowd that her granddaughter, Little Miss Addie, is already set up for her future with the weapons and a pony. Little Miss Addie's almost 2, and a Branch, fucking called their kid Branch anyway. They've brought us so much joy. They've brought us purpose. Now, Addie, soon we'll need them, meaning guns. I want to reassure you, she already has a shotgun and she already has a rifle. And she's got a little pony named Sparkles, too.
She's got her little
adorable
easy bake meth lab already set up.
Oh my God. These people are disgusting.
She's set up for success right there.
Yeah, and just kind of shame on the city of Indianapolis. I'm kind of disappointed. We have a Democratic city council and mayor, and I'm real disappointed that they brought this shit to this town. Oh yes. Couple ones. Also from the NRA convention, Mike Pence got booed because everybody hates Mike Pence. There is one unifier in America right now, and it's the hatred of Mike Pence, and he thinks he's a valid presidential candidate. So mother boy.
God told him.
I'm happy to hear him at any debate. So whatever.
Absolutely.
Oh Jesus.
And finally, my favorite, Kansas cops chased elderly man for driving 3 miles over the limit, then tased him. Lawsuit case. So, this is from the Hastings Tribune on April 12th. An 80-year-old man filed lawsuit against Eastern Kansas Sheriff's Office for allegedly tasing him without warning after officers pursued him for driving 3 miles over the speed limit. In a federal lawsuit, John Siggs said a lieutenant with the Iowa Police Department. Now, I know Iowa very well. Our friend Dennis Edson and Nicole, they were from there, and so we've been to Iowa. We went to prom at Iowa.
Well, you did.
High school. I did. Sorry,
you made time with his little sister. I remember. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh damn. Oh, that's funny.
Whatever. She was cute. Anyway, go ahead.
It was the first home I got to go to, and I was like 23. Where was I?
Sorry, man.
Anyway, so we've been to Iowa. My grandparents are from Iowa, so it's a cute little town. Apparently, multiple police vehicles followed Sig for a few minutes as he drove to his family's car lot, although he did not realize he was the subject of a pursuit, which is in quotes, his attorney wrote. He parked, got out, and then was surrounded by officers from several agencies. So apparently, they take speeding like damn serious in Iowa, Kansas.
Pretty goddamn serious.
Get on the fucking ground, now former deputy of the Allen County Sheriff's Office yelled, according to the lawsuit. Without warning, the deputy used a taser on Sig, even though the manufacturer of the Taser X2 warns about using it on the elderly. His lawyer said, Sig dropped like a rock, his attorney said, and cut his head. Sig mumbled and was hard to understand, he wrote in his lawsuit. As officers talked with him on the scene, he indicated that he did not know what was going on and did not feel right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's going to happen to any of us, let alone an 80-year-old man. Wow, way to go, Iowa PD. That's freaking nuts.
I hope when that happens to me, I can still flip the bird somehow. Like, I don't know. It'd be hard, but I would like to be able to.
That's your big
figure it out. Yeah.
Anyway, those are my headlines from around.
All right, guys, let's go to plugs.
All right.
Real quick.
Okay, my plugs are
plug it up.
My plugs are real fast. I saw David Bazan on his latest tour.
Hey.
He's touring all summer. If you get a chance to see David Bazan, he's playing two of his best records front to back. It was fantastic. And he even did a thing where he mixed up the song order so he could make them flow into each other. He didn't say a word the whole time. Anyway, it was great.
That's cool.
And then this other show that Beth's been watching that I just watched little bits of it. It's called Storm Chasers. So there's 4 seasons of Storm Chasers on Disney Plus, and then there's a new season of Storm Chasers on Discovery Plus, the first 4, and then Disney Plus has a new series. It's the 5th season essentially, Storm Chasers. If you're from our area, I mean, I was just watching them. I mean, there's shots of them, these Storm Chasers hanging out in the Golden Q, running around Waukene, Hayes, areas around. I mean, you will see places if you watch this show. It's
very cool.
It's fascinating. And in fact, one of the ones we were watching, they were chasing a tornado that we actually went and chased ourselves just to show some of the Irish people what it looked like to see a tornado. So anyway, if you want to be like, hey, I've been to that place, and you're watching TV, and if that does it for you, does it for me a little bit, check out that show. Next.
Just a quick one and a surprising one. I am not a fan of reality TV, but I am of this one. It is Jury Duty, which is on Freevee, which is the new sort of Amazon. It has been called a million times in the past. But basically, the premise is that there's a jury. Everything is fake. Everyone on the jury is fake. Everyone involved in the lawsuit is fake, except there's one juror. It's a real dude. And
really?
They just have cameras set up and like monitoring this guy and his reaction. Now, I am always very skeptical of reality TV because I know a ton of it is scripted. Either it's good enough to where I don't care, or this dude still believes it and it's still funny. So check it out. It's kind of like it's very sort of modern take on like Candid Camera. It's got terrible reviews, but we've really enjoyed it. So that's it. Next.
I'll watch it.
All right. Speed plugs.
Dawson's got to get to Italy.
I go to Italy and I got to go to dinner in a minute. There's a new documentary miniseries on Netflix called American Manhunt, the Boston Marathon bombing, directed by Floyd Russ. Smith, have you checked that out yet?
Yeah, we started it.
It's very good. Very well done. That's such a sad, fucking crazy ass story. But really well done. So if you're looking for a documentary, check that out. There's also a really sad show that makes me cry on Hulu called Tiny Beautiful Things, starring Catherine Hahn, who we all love. And it's based on a Cheryl Strayed book, and it's about mothers and daughters and complicated relationships that are involved with those. So it's good.
Right up your alley, young lady.
Hey, yeah. Sign me up twice.
I've seen Gilmore Girls. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. Probably better, actually. That is all. We have plugs. and I have to head out.
We are on
So,
time.
sorry, fans. It'll be longer next time. It'll be way longer next time.
Yeah.
But
It'll be a fucking 15-minute monologues about how the McDonald's in Italy was just a little weird. Anyway, so it'll be good. It'll be
be
good.
good. All right.
Anyway,
Well,
All
it's
right.
always a pleasure.
always a
Ciao
pleasure.
for now. All
Bye.
right.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye.
54-51. Nice.
It's a record.
3, 4.